While trekking 5.5 kilometer trail through the woods in the Shankracharya hill, we spotted many interesting plants. And the very first tree which attracted my attention was Sarbas Kashmiriana from the family Rosaceae, having pinnate leaves and sharply saw-toothed leaflets. Although it is deciduous and it sports berries, its fruits are eaten by the wildlife. Uh, Along with deodars and uh, Himalayan cypress, that is Juniperus tarulosa, we found very fascinating new pine introduced, no doubt, popularly called as Aleppo pine or Jerusalem pine and botanically identified as Pinus hilpensis. Each dwarf shoot have only two needles. That is the unique feature of Pinus hilpensis. It stands introduced in the Shankracharya hill, and its resin is also used to uh, flavor wine also, and some in some countries its nuts are also used for making the dessert. It is a Mediterranean climate pine tree growing around Turkey, Syria, Greece, France, and even Morocco, Algeria. So this pine was new to our this tree talk group. Another fascinating shrub which we came across was golden yellow flowering bush, which looked like leafless shrub, but on closer examination we found the linear leaves were present and golden yellow blossoms attracted our attention. This is the introduced plant Spartium junceum. It should not be confused with Cytisus scoparius. In fact, in Cytisus scoparius, which we find in Nilgiris and South India, has trifoliate leaves, but here the leaves are linear and they are simple. Another unique edible salsify which we came across while trekking the forest trail in the Shankracharya hill was yellow flower salsify or West Asian goat's beard, as the plant is popularly named as. Its leaves are eaten even in Gorese, where in Shina language the plant is named as girginok. So this was identified as Tragopogon dubius. The cultivated Tragopogon porifolius is the purple salsify, which is grown in Europe, and its roots taste like oyster. So for the same reason, the plant Tragopogon porifolius is also known as the oyster plant. This has the milky latex, as it is the sunflower family plant, but despite its milky latex, it is edible as per the traditional knowledge I collected in the wilderness of Gorez and Tolei. Another fascinating bush which we saw laden with scarlet red fruits was Cotoneaster rotundifolius, earlier named as Cotoneaster lanatus. Its leaves were dark green on the upper surface, whereas they were grayish white with a kind of felt of wool on the underside, and the berries were quite fascinating and brilliant red. So our group could not lose sight of this shrub which was growing all along the hill slope facing toward the Sonavar area. The unique raspberries we came across, one was Rubus niveus. Its fruits were not yet ripened, but it is edible and can be added to the desserts. Other rubus which we came across was Rubus almifolius. We could not see any fruits, but it was laden with light pink flowers. both belonging to the same family, Rosaceae. While tracking, we could see some fascinating other bushes. One was prominently seen was the spiny Gigifus species, the Gigifus oxyphylla, as the leaves were uh, ovate and acuminate, long pointed Jiju or long pointed Gigifus are the jungly bear or Warkanda as it is called in Kashmiri language. And its unique feature was uh, having the pair of stipular spines, in which one spine was more than 1.5 centimeter or exceeding 1 centimeter at least, and it was straight, whereas the other spine was a bit curved and it was shorter in length. So this unique character, along with the smooth leaves on both surfaces, they were shining green and smooth, and the flowers were borne in the axillary clusters. So its fruit size is also less than 1 centimeter, and on ripening it is colored red. uh, while trekking the forest trail in the Shankracharya hill, we came across even the introduced Ailanthus altissima, which is popularly called as the paradise tree or the tree of heaven. But this is a Chinese species and not native to India, and its flowers are also not fascinating. Its leaves emit a fetid smell. Despite that, the flowers are eaten by many birds. Uh, the flora of Shankracharya Hill has also some other species, and prominent species was also Cotoneaster uh, alba and Cotoneaster microphyllus and Cotoneaster bacillaris. And in addition to these bushes and other plants, we came across the Romex hestate leaf dock. That is, leaves are tasting sour in taste, and they are also edible. In Kashmiri language, is called a chakchin. While trekking, we could also have another the tree, which was the tree of gods, Cedrus deodara. There was a time when this whole hillock, Shankracharya hill, was bereft of any vegetation, and it was the efforts of the forest department that they introduced cedars and pines and laburnums and other plants. And today we see very dense forest, and not only dense forest, we also have the thriving wildlife. Even black bear is reported to be present, and even viper or levatine's viper, and many other avian life is thriving in the wilderness of Shankracharya.